And it was really quite scary. Like, I saw on the news, there's this raging fire, and I could, like, look out the window and see the flames billowing. And because all the houses are so close to each other, touching, very dense, it can cross a whole district very quickly.
Wow.
Hello and welcome to the Abroad in Japan podcast. Probably the best way of learning about life in Japan without actually being in Japan. I'm your host, Chris Broad. We're joined as always by England's top Japan enthusiast, Mr. Pete Donaldson. Pete, how the devil are you doing? What's going on?
Good morning, Christopher. As we hurtle towards another festive season, I'm happy to announce that Chris is a little bit tired and he's drinking a lot of coffee this morning / this afternoon. And I'm also doing that, so I can't say that I'm not the same. But I'm fairly certain it probably has something to do with the fact that you've had a special project in Okinawa and spent most of last night playing poker, Chris. Poker?
Hey.
Who do you think you are?
I love poker. I haven't played poker in a while. I used to play at university. I used to be in the poker society. And I did good.
I did not know this.
Yeah. I'm a gambling man. It's good fun though, poker, isn't it? You sit around with some friends, you eat, you drink, and then you win money. And you
Absolutely in your belly.
I don't remember that scene in Casino Royale. I don't remember that scene. But you know, I went out with some friends to Okinawa for a little holiday shoot. Holiday/shoot, and it was good, man. I love Okinawa. I haven't been in about a year. I went with Connor last year, and he made me do some water sports, which I wasn't so happy about.
Wow.
Nearly destroyed my eardrum. It was a bit of a fall. And so we went back again and didn't do water sports like that, and it was a lot more fun. But Okinawa, this time of year, is like fucking a perfect place. But the traffic, my God, is awful. Like, sitting in a car, you get really excited. You land Okinawa, there's palm trees and excitement and turquoise blue seas, and then you hit, like, traffic, and you can't get out of Naha City for, like, 2 hours, and the fun quickly slips away. It's the most congested city in Japan, apparently. So there's, like, no mass transport. They've got, like, one shoddy monorail to see 2 million people around the island, and it doesn't really work. So, yeah, traffic is bad. Other than that, it was great.
Good, the Americans have imported some great traffic for the Japanese.
The irony.
To go with, here's a little taste of Los Angeles, everybody. Someone was saying, I was at the Golden Joysticks a few days ago, and I was hanging out with some people, and obviously because of the games industry and the sort of games that were getting nominated this year, there's a lot of Japanese people over and stuff, and a few people I'd sort of met before who work for Nintendo and that, and like a couple of people were saying, my mate was saying that Okinawa, he finds is quite it's quite concrete-y apart from like the beaches, and then when you sort of go to the other islands, they're a bit more like everybody else's idea of what Okinawa should be, if that makes sense. But Okinawa is a big city, like a big sort of metropolitan area, so I can imagine that being the case, Chris.
It's a funny old place because, like, yeah, the second, if you look at the main island of Okinawa, the second, or the lower half of the island, is like one big mega city. Like, I forget this. Like, it is a really big city. It takes hours to get across it. And it is distinctly different from the Japanese mainland because it's very, very concretey. Because I think Okinawa doesn't have many trees, so they don't really use wood. I think that's one of the main reasons. I need to double check that.
Right.
But most of the buildings are very concretey. It reminds me a bit of Taiwan, actually, which is a close neighbour to Okinawa. So it reminds me of that a bit. But yeah, so it has a distinct appearance. You've got the most beautiful sand and beaches and water, and then you sort of look right, and it's this concrete mess. But it has its own sort of charm to it, though. I do kind of like it in a weird way. And then the north end of the island's just like a rainforest, essentially. So yeah, it's very much like the only place in Japan that really doesn't feel like the mainland. People say Hokkaido's a bit different, and it is, because it looks like an American farmland kind of wilderness, the way they do the fields and whatnot. But I'd say Okinawa genuinely feels quite distinct, and it's kind of cool. Like, you land, when we landed at the airport, like 3 F-15s were taking off on the runway right alongside us, and they rocketed over the plane like it was like Top Gun. As somebody who likes fighter jets, I got very excited indeed, and I wish I was a fighter jet pilot instead of a YouTuber. A lot more fun. God damn it.
Well,
God damn it, Pete. Could have been
Go
different.
an hour and play poker all night for crying out loud, which I'm reliably informed you did rather well as well. I mean, I guess you were in the poker society. So what I like about poker is that my partner Sarah was a host on the television channel Sky Poker in the UK for a long time, and I beat her once in poker. So what I like about poker is it doesn't matter how good you are, a bumbling idiot can occasionally get a paw on you.
Yeah, it's true because it's a advantage not knowing how to play poker really because you just bluff, but we don't realise you're bluffing. I remember, I think the first game I ever played, I won at the Poker Society because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just like all in, thinking it was like James Bond Casino Royale, and people get really angry if they feel like they're playing an amateur because it sort of throws everyone off a bit. So it's a weird superpower to have. Yeah. But surely Sarah was the presenter, not the player, so it's not a fair fight.
She was, but she would do. They would occasionally have these kind of like pro-am kind of matches where the hosts would have a poker night, like a nice casino somewhere in London, and they play against the experts, the sort of grey men who'd spent their lives. And their children's inheritances on making bad decisions at the poker table. These kind of like professional gamblers who are ill, and they would have a little match. And again, every now and again, I think Sarah and the host, the soccer sports host Jules Breach, they both beat all of the experts and the poker experts at the thing. And that television show never saw the light of day because it was embarrassing to the experts because they got hammered.
That's brilliant.
Oh, love it.
Bloody hell.
Love it.
I mean, there are poker clubs in Japan. Last year, when Connor and I did a stream in Kagoshima, we didn't know what we were doing. We were bumbling around at night, and we found the poker club or poker bar, and we went in and we just played. You can't play for money in Japan. Like it's illegal gambling. Don't do that. And so we had to play with like chips that lead you to get more drinks, which is not quite as exciting.
No.
Again, it's not like Casino Royale. Well, Mr. Bond, you've won a fucking Moscow Mule. Congratulations.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to have a Yogurito cocktail. Delicious. I love those.
Well, it's good though. I think when I did that, I won, and then Connor was streaming it, and then his stream got buggered by Twitch because they were like, "You're showing gambling. You can't do this," and it like blocked his stream, unfortunately. Because other than that, it was pretty good fun. But if you like poker, you just type in like poker bar in Tokyo or whatever city you're in Japan, and you can find one. Also, went to a bar. I went to a bar where you get to fire airsoft guns while you drink. You ever been to one of these places?
I have actually. It's a very
Of course
bizarre...
you have.
I think just being in a bar where it's lined with some of the most realistic-looking airsoft guns you've ever seen in your life, and you just absolutely, you've got the opportunity to shoot these big old blooming guns, AR-15 sort of monstrosities that are airsoft guns. I mean, it's a weird
I just sent you a
mix,
photo. Of the one that I got to fire. They look really realistic. They don't have like the orange tips like a lot of airsoft guns.
It's not an airsoft gun, Chris. Can I drag that into the? Into the picture so people on YouTube can see it?
I got an RPG, and it looks like a real RPG. Like it's like to scale.
Let me have a
the
look
detail
here.
was really impressive.
For the YouTubers, you can see that is not.
This is what YouTube's for.
That's not a YouTube gun. That's not an airsoft gun. That is what do they call it? A propelled grenade.
Rocket propelled grenade. Yeah.
Rockets. There we go.
Rocket.
Rocket. That's not right. Well done.
Well
done.
Kids
are crying.
I look like a terrorist from the 1990s. But you only get one shot. It was quite satisfying though. The trigger, you had to it was really hard to pull it, and you had to pull it with two fingers, put it over your shoulder, and give it a jolly good bang, and it showered the target in 50 fucking pellets at once, many of which bounced back and smacked me in the face. So I was turned to a friendly fire incident, which you shouldn't do.
No.
After you've drunken lots of Moscow Mule and vodka. It was good fun, though. Good fun. You can't go wrong with an airsoft bar. And the best gun was a sniper rifle, because you actually get to, fire one at a time, reload, and fire again. So there's a bit more precision involved, as opposed to an RPG. Yeah,
well, I mean, you bring in an RPG to a gunfight, it seems, or a knife to a gunfight. I mean... So the actual, I'm surprised that the actual RPG was actually propelled by something. It just feels very dangerous for you to be having a Moscow Mule and smash like you. You just need to be like. You need like an old Toyota pickup. You need to be in the desert with all your buddies.
Oh my god, that'd be so good.
God.
I don't think we have any. Do we have airsoft like bars in the UK? It feels like something could go
do you have
very
ISIS
wrong.
training bars? No, those ISIS guys, they don't do a lot of drinking. To be honest, they don't put a lot of tinnies away.
It feels like a concept that could only go wrong in the UK. Like, all you can drink plus airsoft guns equals disaster waiting to happen.
When we were in Kosovo, they do have a bar where you can handle real guns and real RPGs and stuff, but there's nothing. You can't fire them, but because it's Kosovo, you do sort of go. 9 times out of 10, this probably has damaged someone at some point. So you do feel the weight of history, one would suggest, in your hands when you're Kosovo's still pockmarked from the wars and the invasions.
Bloody
and stuff.
hell, it's terrifying.
Anyway,
enough of Kosovo and airsoft gun bars. We've got a story from Johnny from Sweden, who says, Hello, Chris and Pete. My dad and I visited Japan just before COVID hit and had a wonderful adventure with plenty of ups and downs, but there was one particular event that sticks out more than the others. We'd planned to first stay in Japan, then squeeze in a short visit to South Korea in the middle of our trip, ending with the speedboat between Busan and Fukuoka. When it's a speedboat, I think it's more like it's just a fast boat. I'm picturing like a 1980s Vice City, Miami Vice, like speedboat across the ocean.
Or the Isle of Wight hoverboard, or whatever they call it.
It's not that good. As music enthusiasts, we bought some rare Japanese vinyls in Tokyo, which we included in our luggage that we were taking to South Korea. While we're in South Korea, a nasty typhoon was closing in fast, and with the choice either to stay longer in South Korea or hurry back to Japan, we decided on a last-minute flight, which was fine, but then got stopped at customs as our 2-day trip was deemed suspicious. A handful of officers started digging around in our luggage and pulled out all of our rare vinyls. They inspected them thoroughly and removed the plastic wrapping before taking them away into a different room. While I was a bit scared of what was happening, I was more scared of the vinyls being damaged and having their value disappear. 2 officers stayed with us as their colleagues completed the process, and in broken English explained that someone before us had tried to smuggle a certain white powder into the soundtrack lines on the vinyl. What are the odds of that? We were later cleared to enter Japan with our now less valuable rare vinyls to enjoy the rest of our trip. Best regards, Johnny from Sweden. Oh my God, can you imagine snorting cocaine off a turntable as it's like playing your favourite David Bowie track while it's like you're snorting it in real time?
As the Thin White Duke would have wanted you to, knowing his input in the 80s. But yeah, I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? Can you imagine, like, I know, like,
I can't imagine.
I know people will try and do what they need to do to get the stuff over and stuff, but it seems like the lines in the records just seems to be that you're not getting enough space to hide the stuff, surely. My God.
Yeah. I mean, how the fuck could you hide that? I don't even want to think of the logistics of that. That's not my job. No. But if you were to do it... No, that's crazy.
There's a man who gets interviewed all the time. Have we spoken about it on this show? There's a guy, this sort of nerdy-looking bloke who I think was in... he got sent to prison in... Oh, God, maybe it was Venezuela. It might have been Ecuador, actually. Very nerdy-looking sort of lad from Brighton, I think. And he was banging into drugs all his life and, drug dealing and stuff. And he went to Ecuador sort of area to try and to start importing, I think it was cocaine, in tents, like, the ground sheet on a tent, like this rubber kind of thing. They managed to sort of impregnate the rubber with the cocaine and then and you sort of pull it out. And I just sort of go, it just seems like, is that still going to be good once you've extracted it from the rubber in a bloody tent sort of thing? It just seems like there's a lot of... I have limited experience with the old, you know what, and it always used to smell of petrol. So you just presumed it sort of came in petrol tanks, presumably just a cutting thing they used. But not ideal.
It sounds like a Pete Donaldson science experiment channel waiting to happen. What can you put drugs in? What items? A cassette tape.
Put them in a man. Bring them over,
God.
for crying out loud.
I thought this story was going to go a different way. Like all of a sudden, we heard the record playing. We heard the Venga Boys and Aqua coming from the immigration room, blaring
dancing.
speakers.
Sorry, were you dancing in there? No.
Have you ever been stopped at customs, Pete? What have you been done for smuggling?
No, I've never. I mean, which is weird because I guess like I've spent a lot of time like traveling with idiot friends and stuff, like idiot boys, and going to some far flung places. But no, I've never had. I think Japan's the only place where anyone's even opened my case because I think I spoke about it when I came back from Japan last. There's this wonderful little. There's this wonderful little advert at Haneda Airport when you're picking up your baggage, and it's got a picture of a suitcase, and it's opened up, and it's got like a little beef burger in the bottom because you're not allowed to import meat, obviously.
Oh, yeah,
but the idea
of
that you would import an entire beef burger at the bottom of your suitcase, I just always think of like, don't import an entire beef burger to Japan. They do not like it. They do not care for it. I am. A person who's obsessed with the hot chili oil that is chili in oil. It's like crispy sort of fried chili in oil. Lao Gan Ma. And I think I get through a jar every 2 weeks. It is the best. It's the best. The peanut flavour one, the non-peanut flavour one. There is a forbidden one that we don't get in the West. That's a Chinese Lao Gan Ma. They're all Chinese Lao Gan Ma. That are have got like mince in it, like little bits of mince. And it's illegal.
Right.
You occasionally see someone selling them on eBay illegally, but every few days I go, I just need that meaty Lao Gan Ma. I just want the meaty I want the meaty version of Lao Gan Ma, and nobody can get me it unless they go to China. Yeah.
I'll head over there next time. I go to the UK. I'll stop off in Beijing and get some of this.
Get me some Lao Gan Ma. Yeah, some meaty Lao Gan Ma.
Apparently, 157 prosecutable cases of smuggling via aircraft passengers have happened in 2025. People are dopey. They do still try to smuggle stuff in through customs. Don't do that. Don't bring your hamburgers, especially hamburgers stuffed full of cocaine.
I knew a TV star. We once went to. Does this dox him? We didn't go to a place. And I'm not telling you why he was there, which will connect the dots. He walks through with some MDMA in a balled up bit of handkerchief, and he just had a dirty handkerchief in his hand. And he walked through the thing to the country we were going, and he said, "Well, no one's going to want to go into like a stinky, a snotty handkerchief." And I was like, "I mean, it's not foolproof, is it, mate?" And like, yeah,
That's disgusting.
and well, it wasn't dirty, so it's not disgusting. It was just full of MDMA.
It wouldn't stop the sniffer dogs, would it? The sniffer dogs would still have a crack.
But I think
dogs don't have principles.
I think sniffer dogs are mainly looking for the old explodey-splodies. So I think that's the main thing, the reason why they're at the airport. But let people do what they want to do.
Turning into a smuggling special at this point.
It is, yeah. Talking about getting demonetised with a poker stream. Donaldson telling you how to smuggle drugs again. Oh, dear.
Reckless Pete Donaldson. He's a reckless man. Yeah. But while I was away in Okinawa, I didn't see the news much. And crazy, Japan's had its biggest fire in nearly 50 years. 170 buildings were burnt down in Oita Prefecture in Kyushu, not too far from Beppu, the hot spring town. Terrible news, and I saw the footage just today on the screen and my God, like it looks like a whole town has gone. It looks like a war zone. It's very horrific. What's going on there, Pete? Fill us in.
Well, yeah, it looks like an entire village has been absolutely levelled. It really did come out of nowhere, this story. Authorities in Oita Prefecture are dealing with the aftermath of what's been described as Japan's biggest urban fire in nearly 50 years. The blaze broke out this week in the coastal Saganoseki district of Oita City and quickly spiraled out of control, fueled by strong winds coming off the bay. 170 buildings have been destroyed. I mean, if you want to check out the aerial footage, it is astonishing amounts of building. Residents evacuated. The fire rapidly spread through the tightly packed wooden structures that line the area's narrow streets. The flames were so intense they even jumped across the water to an uninhabited island. I mean, that's how strong it's been, because it's an exceptionally fast-moving blaze. Nobody saw this coming. They'll probably never see this sort of thing again. But the entire blocks of this town is absolutely reduced to ash. They don't know where it came from. They don't know how it started. But now residents are obviously, they've been taken away from their businesses and their homes as well. But I mean, the town had an estimated population of 12,367. Hopefully, these people can be rehomed. It is an astonishing fire that you just don't see in this day and age, even in like developing nations. It's just it was a real tinderbox situation with help by strong winds.
Well, I mean, when it comes to Japan, like a lot of the construction, there is a lot of wood used in building work, obviously, and the places like this, they're quite dense. Like, there's a real density of houses. There was a fire not that far from me over in Meguro, West Tokyo, earlier this year. I think it was this year, last year, and it was really quite scary. Like, I saw on the news, there's this raging fire, and I could like look out the window and see the flames billowing. And because all the houses are so close to each other, touching, very dense, it can cross a whole district very quickly. There was that fire in Osaka, in Dotonbori, in August. And I think when I was in Osaka the other day, I can't remember if I saw some of the fire damage, but it was on that famous strip by the bridge. It was a nasty fire there. And there was a massive forest fire earlier this year, or late last year in North Tohoku as well. So there has been a fair few fires. Even the town of Sakata that I used to live in, there was a huge fire in the 1970s. A cinema went up in flames and took most of the town with it. And then it was hastily rebuilt, and a lot of the really sad, because a lot of the nice historic buildings went with it. And then Sakata is quite an ugly town as a result of the rapid reconstruction efforts. But really bad. So the only good thing I'd say is 170 buildings, but fortunately not too much in the way of casualties. One person did lose their life, but for 170 buildings, at least most people were able to get out of there.
It sounds like a real
firestorm.
A great effort from the fire and rescue to get people out that quickly, because you can imagine how many elderly people are in there as well.
Absolutely. We'll be back in a moment, guys, with your stories, comments and questions over in the fax machine.
Wow.
And we're back with the fax machine. What do we got this week from our listeners, Mr. Dawson? Fill us in.
We got loads of stuff. Paul from Barcelona in Spain. This January, I'm going with a friend for a snowboarding 5-week road trip all around Hokkaido and Honshu. We'll rent a car and drive from Furano to Hakuba, stopping in as many ski resorts as possible to get all the deep powder. What is this show about? Everyone's talking about deep powder today.
Back to your favourite smuggling.
Smuggle it on your boots. I'm as excited as a human being can be, and I've done my homework when it comes to the snow, mountains, etc. I'm curious to know if you guys have any recommendations or know any places along the way that are worth visiting, especially between Yamagata and Hakuba. It would be nice to stop and see some places. Thanks and have a great day. Paul from Barcelona, Spain.
Between Yamagata and Hakuba, it's quite a big space. It's like the size of the UK.
Birmingham. What is the Birmingham of this? They're right in the middle.
Oh, God. That's a really cool road trip, though, isn't it? Going to be quite scary, because you're going through Hokkaido and Aomori and some of the snowiest places on the planet. So get ready to drive slowly and be very patient for a very long time. I mean, your sport for choice, really. If it were me, I would probably stop in Aomori, hit up a few hot springs there, have some cider, work my way through Iwate, do a cheeky bit of wankosoba noodles, into Sendai for some gyutan, and into Tochigi for some gyoza. I'd probably base it all around food, as I always do with my travels around Japan. Go to Nikko, see the place that Pete Dawson saw, but has never got to have released on camera. Yeah, we've never released the footage. There. Go there. Have a great time above all.
That's nice.
Just drive safely. Go to Matsumoto, there's a nice castle there. Well, that is sort of the wrong way. But not. I don't know, you can probably go there.
Don't come to me for, Japan plans. It's not what I'm here for. I'm here to disrupt.
You can have a good time, though. Best of luck to you, Paul.
Reckon.
Morgan and Steve from New Jersey says, hello, Chris and Pete. My husband and I recently returned from 17 days in Japan with my family. We followed a combination of the 14 and 21-day itinerary videos and abroad in Japan, had a wonderful time. On our last full day in Tokyo, my dad decided to spend the day alone while the rest of the group went to do some last-minute shopping. He said he wanted to visit museums, so we assumed he'd be in and around Tokyo. At dinner that night, he told us he took a 2.5-hour taxi ride to Niigata for the day. What the dickens? On his return trip, also by taxi, the driver told him he hadn't been back to Tokyo in 20 years.
Wow.
How much of a faux pas is it to ask a Japanese taxi driver to go this far? Or is it not one at all? Also, can cab drivers refuse to go to certain destinations? Thank you for all you do. Morgan and Steve from New Jersey. That is absolutely bonkers. Niigata's quite far. In fact, it's more than 2.5 hours. So I wonder, maybe he went to like Echigo Yuzawa, which is just a lot easier to get to by bullet train because it takes like, well, I don't know how. Where could he have gone in 2.5 hours?
As in, like,
That's quite curious.
So he
wonder.
He was in Tokyo and then he went to Niigata. I mean, I guess Japan's very thin, but Niigata is the exact other side of the body of Japan. Incredible.
Yeah, all I could think of is he went like Echigo Yuzawa, which is home to like the sake vending machines, which is a worthwhile 2.5 detour on a taxi, one might say.
Closed when I went, unfortunately. Very, very good.
Really? Because they knew you were fucking coming to drink their supply drive. Who's coming? Yabai.
Shut it down.
Shut it all down. I remember we did an episode where somebody got in a cab drunk in, I think it was in Osaka, and they were like, take me to Tottori. And the driver was like, all right. And they went and they drove and they got there and it was like, okay, you owe me like 300,000 yen. And the drunk passengers went, bye, and just ran away.
See you later.
So
dived into a sand dune, like the film Dune.
Yeah.
Never seen
just
again.
Be careful. You never know.
Give a taxi to a sandworm. They will take you to the Tottori sand dunes. But that, I mean, so that is like, Tottori is like, is that above like Hiroshima kind of area? It's kind of like almost Kyushu, isn't it? And then if you, and Osaka's obviously way east. Wow.
It's quite a journey, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a journey to Tottori. But I don't think it's a faux pas to ask it. I think as long as, if you're like, when you get in a taxi, you obviously tell the driver the destination, right? And it's at that point they could be like, how about fuck off? But they never do.
Open the door again, see you later.
Yeah, the door flies back open. I've never had a taxi driver reject my destination, though. But I've never gone too wild. I think the longest journey I've ever taken a taxi in Japan was from Ueno in Tokyo to Narita Airport because I missed the train to get to the Ruddy Airport.
Yeah.
And it's quite a long drive down a highway to Narita, right? It took like over an hour. But it's not a unremarkable journey to make. But it would be fun to test that theory, wouldn't it? Get in a cab and be like, Hiroshima, onegaishimasu, and see what they do.
Nagasaki.
I reckon they might do it. But they might be like, you've definitely got the money, right? And
you'd want some money up front, wouldn't you? Really, I imagine as tourism goes in Japan, they're probably a little bit more aware. You've probably got this a bit wrong.
I would be an interesting theory to test, but there you go. That's pretty cool, though. What a cool story. I want to know more, Morgan. Tell us more about what your dad got up to. That could be like a really cool film. Just one man's long day, set in real time, about a guy just going off to Niigata in a cab, forming a friendship with a taxi driver, an unbreakable bond over some sake, over some adventures in the mountains. I think it'd be really good. But more on that next week.
I think he's a hitman, Morgan. I think he's performing a hit. He's like Agent 47.
I have to go somewhere.
I have
fun
to go
with your
to
mother.
Niigata to see the sake vending machines. What's that noise, Dad? I'm just loading an RPG, not an airsoft one.
That would be cool. And finally, Charlotte from London says, hello, Chris and Pete. My husband, Pete, and I, good name, are currently on our honeymoon in Japan until the end of the month. My husband's happy it's the international break. For some of the time we're away, but with the Ashes cricket starting soon, and less of a time difference than usual, we wondered if you think there's anything that'll be showing, anywhere that'll be showing the Ashes, if it's just a pipe dream. Thanks for all the content. It's fun listening to the podcast. while we're actually here after years of living and listening back home. Charlotte from London. Thank you, Charlotte. Cricket in Japan, it's never been that popular, really. We did introduce it here back in like the 1800s. And there's I think the first club was formed in Yokohama in the 1800s. But it's not that popular. Baseball's where the action is here, unfortunately. Yeah. But you could probably find it in a good British pub like Hobgoblin in Roppongi, or probably Hub. Hub might show it.
Great cheese in the Hobgoblin, I hear.
It's very good. It's very good. Dare I say, it's the same cheese as Lost Bar.
Me, you, and the rest of the DDT wrestler, Chris Brooks, went to Hobgoblin last time I was over, and Chris just talked about cheese for 3 hours because because that's where he gets his cheese from. His cheese supplier is there. They bring it in tents, I hear. Cheese tents.
I think that's the only place you'll find the cricket, though. I don't think I've ever seen cricket on the screen anywhere in Japan. So, best of luck to you, though. And above all, have a bloody good time in Japan, Charlotte. Keep the stories, questions, comments coming in to @gmail.com or right away in the comments below. But for now, guys, have yourself a great few days. So we'll see you right back here to do it all over again on the Abroad in Japan podcast. Bye for now. Have a good one.
Bye.